My name is Kaitlyn Hill, and this is Speech 3, my informative speech. Here are my note cards. Here's my audience. In second grade, I was stabbed by a boy with a pencil. He caused many class disruptions throughout the year. He made my classmates fear because of his behavior, and our class missed out on several activities because of his behavior, and he couldn't be trusted. Behavior structural strategies are for every level of education. Behavioral support strategies are tools for learning environments. Life is easier both at home and at school when these behaviors are applied. Structural behavior makes it clear and expectations for students known. For difficult children, these strategies help them be treated fairly. There are 4 behavior strategies I'm going to talk about today. 1 is positive behavior support in the common area at schools. 2 is reading interventions. 3 is classroom-based interventions called tutoring. And the 4th one is targeted interventions by a use called Pride. Positive strategies are to make positive behavior. Positive behavior support is to find reasons why kids act the way they act. 50% of the problem is caused in common areas. There's too much open space, which means there's less supervision. Wheatley talks about in 2009 in one of his papers that the more open space, there's less environmental structure. There are hiding areas for children to hide and misbehave when teachers are not around. Teachers are not consistent in their rules. They switch their days that they work in the cafeteria and at recess. Different teachers get frustrated at different times. Teachers and faculty are advised to pass out praise notes to students. They are to give a praise note every 2 to 3 minutes throughout the day. At the end of the day, 5 praise notes will be drawn, and the kids with their names on those praise notes will get a prize from the principal. Teachers who give out the praise notes and those names were drawn will also be rewarded. Praise notes are displayed on a bulletin board outside of the school. When the bulletin board is full, the whole school is rewarded. This helps everyone be rewarded. There are many whole school strategies, but there's also a reading investment strategy. Reading investments improve students' behavior. Emotional behavior disorder is when a student has a low reading level. Low reading is disruptive for students. Wills writes in 2010 in one of his articles. Students with low reading get easily frustrated, and their frustration tends to become physical. They struggle with reading, and so they act out. They are trying to hide their reading problems from their class and their teachers. They are too embarrassed to ask for help. There are tiered reading interventions offered through schools. They are responsible for introduction of a small group. In Tier 1 and 2, it's a small group setting, and in Tier 3, it's a one-on-one setting. Behavior is stabilized and shows improvement when they are in these groups. They become less frustrated, and the students are excited to learn. School-wide strategies are a great way to help behavior, but there's also classroom-based strategies. These promote attention, paying attention in class, and productivity. Pro-social helps promote peers watching other students. Students are to model after their peers. Hawk states in 2009 in one of his articles, watching others behave helps students know how to behave themselves. Watching their own age behave shows them what is appropriate for their age level. When students praise another student, it helps teachers realize that every child has something good about them. It means more to students when they are praised by their peers. There is an intervention called tootling. Tootling comes from the words tattling and tooting your own horn. These are when students report good behaviors about another student. When they are to write a tootle, they are to put a note in a box in front of the classroom for the teachers to read later on in the day. The report of tootling has increased compliments and encouraged students. The students become closer as friends, and the classroom gets more accomplished throughout the day. There are classroom strategies, but there's also counselor target strategies. Positive results in discipline education, also known as PRIDE, is for students with the most referrals to go into an intervention. Students with 3 or more referrals written are supposed to go to PRIDE. Sherrod writes about this in 2009 in one of his articles. The homeroom teacher is to answer a 12-question form. 6 questions are about the behavior of the student, and 6 questions are about the academic progress of the student. Students and parents are to sign a consent form when they are in PRIDE. This is so students can feel the support of everyone, and they agree to stay involved in PRIDE. The counselor meets with the student once a week for 8 weeks. They help them focus on their negative behavior. For an individual session, they talk about anger and the disruptions in class. For a group setting, they talk about the rules, the relationship, communication, and getting rid of negative labels. Going through PRIDE, it changes individuals' attitude, and it helps them improve their behavior. They understand what the classroom procedures are, and the behavior improves socially. Individual strategies are a good way to help, and they're just a small part of the behavior strategies. In conclusion, there are several strategies to help with discipline. Students and teachers must work together to get through these strategies. They need to find reasons for reinforcement. They need to improve reading investments. The classroom must decrease their bad behavior, and they target individuals by going to PRIDE. These strategies are very successful and improve negative behavior throughout the year. As a new year approaches, let's use these strategies to make this new school year a great one.